As with everything else that she'd done with her life up until now, Susanna took her job as a general very seriously. She took learning the magical art seriously, she took learning the sword seriously, and she took how she cared about everyone around her very seriously. Once again, it seemed like the two old men were fighting, and it was up to the old girl to solve their little problems. Some things never change. Hello, welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker with me, Boldish McGammar. So, today we need to solve a problem about cows. Specifically, what is this quest even called? Of cows and other matters of political importance. Fun. Alright, so let's go talk to people. Hey, Sepple.
Oh, that Mega. I'm so angry with him. Why do I still bother? Should have left this party after that idiocy in Ustalav. Or at least after the debacle in Mivon. If I had any sense, I would never have gotten involved at all.
Let's see. What do you think about this, Gunderson?
I can't see any point in keeping that loafer in the capital. To hear him singing about his questionable feats in the tavern and flirting with anything that moves. People like him can be helpful, out there in the ruins, where they crawl around, discovering interesting facts and useful items. I'll give him a half-empty purse, perhaps even a bit of magical gear, and send him back out into the road. If fortune favored him, he might return with something interesting. If not, then good riddance. And that bracelet he scrounged up is in fact quite interesting itself. It's not magical, no, but it may point to an ancient Cyclops treasure, a riches worth far more than gold. I would like to show this artifact to a knowledgeable historian, but where are we to find one in this backwater?
Fair point. You want to talk about something?
Yes, that puffed-up fool Vaughn is destroying this barony faster than we can build it. Alliance with a western neighbor is madness, and now he is sending them gifts. He takes resources we work hard to obtain, and which were so scarce around here, and give them away freely to our principal adversary. You have your own take on everything. Maybe you could see something that I am missing. Maybe it really is better that I retire. Why should I stand watch as everything I have built these many years crumbles to ruin? Or not know what to do with him, or even how to talk to him. Tell me, what do you think of all this madness?
We are given many options, none of which are aligned, I should point out. I think Maker's diplomacy may not yet play into your plans. If he convinces our neighbor that we're friends, they'll drop their guard, and we can attack by surprise. Or we could even unite and attack Rosslyn together.
Yes, this is true. If we do enter alliance with them against the Eldori, they will never take Silverstep. I do so wish to have a mansion on its shores. You know Vaughn, he's not the kind to make alliances only to backstab later. Perhaps we should send an instigator to our neighbors to persuade them to attack us first, to give us cause for annexation. I need to think.
Wow, always got his eyes on the prize. So that's really all he wants in life, yeah? A mansion on a lake. Well, be happy to know that there is a mansion being built on the lake out there. Well, I have to go.
Yes, you and I are both very busy people. What a joke! To be advisor to a baron who's doing everything in his power to destroy his own state.
Well, that finished the quest and gave us experience. So, did you handle those troublemakers? On top of everything else, an uprising is just what we need. After a quarrel with Sepple, you mentioned some letters that gave you a headache. You mind if I ask what that's about?
I received a letter with some threats. You do know how the letters with threats make me laugh. Ha! Ha! Ha!
Maker doesn't laugh, but solely articulates each ha, emphasizing his dark mood.
As if this whole government headache wasn't enough, now there's another contender from Brevoy, scheming for their own pieces of pie. I wonder why he dislikes the alliance between Vonhold and the barony of Shrike Hills. Here, read it if you like.
Baron Maker Varn, I'm writing to you as an ally as well-wisher. The reason for my letter is a lack of foresight in your actions. You're trying so hard to become friends with the ruler of Shrike Hills barony. You invite your neighbor to pay you a visit, and even send rich gifts. Have you nothing more to do in your lands? I strongly recommend you stop flirting with the upstart person and turn your gaze to affairs of the day. You are trying to cross paths with powerful horses that you can reach you even in your own castle. You should know your place. With wishes and good health and calm sleep, your friend. I get 3 guesses as to what they are, and one of them has white hair. I'm not certain of the author, but I can make a guess. A few years ago, the mother of this little rat hired us to find him, remember? From the moment we met him, I wanted to tie him to a tree in the forest and leave him overnight, just to teach him a lesson. If he wasn't heir to one of the great houses of Bravoy, I would have done just that. Maybe something good would have come out of the little rot. Okay, I have to go. Things to do. So long, my friend. Come back soon, either on business or just to chat over a cup of wine.
It is done.
Alright, so we have a job to do. Well, let's go look around town. Not too far to this guy. So Ignish is over here. He's moved a little bit. Never mind, there he is. Where's the spirit one? Potions, swans? Perhaps a reading? I'm looking for a troublemaker who's been stirring up the people to riot. Have you seen her? Saw her? Yes, I did. She picked my pockets clean. That's alright, a pocket is not a belly. If they cut it, you can stitch it up and fill it again. But I think they still won't be good for her. No, they won't. She's invited trouble into herself, the silly girl. That's not good to hear. I have to go. Oh, go wherever you want. You can't get away from your fate. No. So they stole something from him.
No stopping now.
And over here we have... They took the pitchfork, scythes, and flails from the barn. Anything that could be used as a weapon. And... the guard's been knocked senseless, but she's alright. Okay. So they have armed themselves with basic weaponry. Let's go take a look around the rest of the town. Oh, that's new. We will win! And... down with the tyrant! Aha. Okay, alright. We need to get some schools. We need to get some schools real quick. Alright, we have a bunch of loot that we need to sell with Kierdi. Which now we know the proper name of Kierdi. So... we have all this armor. We don't need any of it. We have all these weapons. We need 2 of them. I'm gonna keep the keen short sword, and I'm gonna keep the shock dagger. Okay, we get rid of all that. Now we offer up any of the other mundane junk that we got. Get rid of all that. And we get rid of... I'll keep the belt of strength. I like the idea of having a belt of strength. I don't know, I'm a little bit attached to it. Keep the diamond dust. Don't need the meat. I do need the chocolate. Don't need the fowl. Don't need the potatoes. Don't need the nuts. I think I needed the moss for one of my recipes. We don't need the rice. Okay, we only have 6 trail rations, so we need a couple more of those. If I can find them. There they are. Yeah, give me like 12 more. Having 3 days of rest is always good. Now then, I desperately need... some items seem different now. I desperately need a bow. I'm going to get that short composite short bow. And I think I'll get... do I want a composite longbow? No, I think that'll be enough. Okay. So now I have a magic bow. So let's give you this. So that way you're not using a mundane weapon anymore. Very good. Love that. And for my slayer... Right now you're using a +1 short sword. Let's give you some electric damage. That way you can maybe overcome some of the problems that we're having with, You can overcome some of the problems that we're having with some enemies. Okay, so you equip this. There. And then you put that in your other hand there. And that's fine. You can just use a composite longbow. You have no strength, but it's a little bit better than that short bow was. Get rid of the new stuff. Don't need this. Now what do I do with this money? What do I even do with this money? Do we have any reach metamagic rod? That could be fine. A lot of useful scrolls. One thing I could be doing is I could be buying scrolls to teach Susanna. I could be buying scrolls to put in her spellbook so that she would have a wider variety of spells available for her. I'm going to buy this bag of holding to help us with our carry weight. It's not as important in this game as it is with the main game, but I don't know. I like having it. Yeah, I'm going to go back to Ignish. Now that I have all my money. Show me your wares. Do you have a wand? Yeah, the wands are now higher priced. The Wand of Heroism sounds good, because I don't think I'm ever going to be able to know Good Hope. So that'll help me with skill checks. And the Wand of Stone Skin could also save my hide. But that's more money than I have. If I sell that, it doesn't even it out. And that's pretty much everything that I have to sell. So, I guess I'm not going to be having the Wand of Heroism. Which is a shame. It's a shame, but you know what? It's what I have. I really wanted that Wand of Heroism. Do you sell, a potion? A potion of heroism. That would be nice. Or is potions not really your bag? You sell scrolls. Yeah, you have a couple of potions. Do you sell a scroll of heroism? Sort by name. I can't find it by price. That would be incredibly handy if you did. No. Okay. Haste there, heroism no. Oh, that's a shame.
Follow me.
Alright. So that's some management done. Back to looking for clues. Let's see. No clues from Kiardi. That's fine by me. Who else do we have here? Okay, Gunderson is over there in the corner, and we also have Zombie Jester. I like the name of Zombie Jester. Let's talk to you.
The skulls came flying down the halls, a band of wrecking ball.
The Bard stands before you, looking rather bizarre. He clearly inherited his waistcoat, which was once expensive, but is now worn and tattered, covered in motley patches and embroidered with skulls. The musician's face is covered with white powder, and his eyes and cheekbones accented with black.
So long as my song is not getting old, I'll sing to the fool, humble but bold. You there, General. The corn for the minstrel.
Here you are.
Thank you, Your Highness. I swear I'll spend it all here, and it's enough to last a year.
Who are you?
A raucous rascal of no small fame. The Zombie Jester is my name.
What are you singing about?
Of horror and miracles, of demons and the dead. I'll sing you to sleep, and you'll wet your bed. In the stolen lands, there are barons and whores everywhere, enough for a new song every day. I've been to Shrike Hills and returned with a dozen of new songs. Songs of insane stag lord, of evil fae pranks and trollish feasts, werewolves and lake dragons and spider dances. And now I'm here to write one about a cyclops. Now I'm writing a new song. It's about an inn where today's travelers are fed meat and carved for yesterday's travelers. By the way, it's not just a tale. It's the truth. I've been there, tasted their human meat pies myself, and barely escaped with my skin.
Where did you find it in like this?
At Bloodstone's Ford. If you don't believe me, go there yourself and look what they have in their pots.
You don't look like a zombie.
For now, it seems I'm still alive, but Caden only knows what happens tomorrow. I was given this name for my songs. Other bards sing of heroes and romance, flowers and other such rot. My songs are
The bard strikes a low and dissonant chord on his lute.
far more interesting.
I have to go.
Good riddance. Don't let the skeleton cyclops bite your heels.
What an interesting fellow. Must be some kind of archetype of a bard that's not in this game, like perhaps Dirge Singer?
No stopping now.
Alright, so let's take a look at Gunderson's loot. Valor and Honor, 10 Adventures of the Splendid Willis Gunderson in Absalom. Okay, alright, let's take a look at that. Table of Contents. Author, Prologue, Adventure 1, Adventure 2, Skillful Illustrations, great, good job. I don't think we need to read the book. I think just reading the Table of Contents is enough. I really like Chapter 9, Failing to Escape Tigers. And they have... Isn't the epilogue the form of the parting words? 300 pages of parting words. Wow, what a thick tome. Well done, Willis. You know what, let's give you some attention that you're so sorely craving. Dressed in clean clothes, shiny boots, and full accessory, William Gunderson looks even more jovial than he did when you first met him on the road. Ah, there you are, my lady. What a pleasure it is to see you again. Tell me about yourself. Oh, I'm quite a boring person, believe me. His tone makes it clear that he's joking. Boredom has led me to learn a dozen ancient languages, decipher a trove of ancient manuscripts and chronicles, and riddle out the location of the mention and the relics hidden there. In between these rather boring tasks, I've written a few brilliant novels and a dozen poems. Indeed, I had to flee for this backwater for my admirers and fans. I do hope no one here knows about the name of Willis Gunderson, or I shall have to flee again. Fame, I'm afraid, is the most boring thing in the world. He looks at you and askance, evaluating the impression that his speech has just made on you. Finally, he turns a little morose. Truth be told, my books are not very popular, and the money I received from the relics was hardly enough to replenish my wardrobe. But it's all well. The grand expedition of the Tours of Levities will surely lead me to a marvelous finale, and I've already found something special here. He gives you a charming smile. So what brings a scientist, traveler, and researcher of antiquities to our savage lands? I was led here by some information I discovered while translating the writings on an ancient stone panel. His eyes burned with excitement. It was a heavy granite slab the size of a door, but a mere pocket notebook, and the ones who made it their marks on it. Ancient Cyclopes. It was one who wrote these inscriptions on a slab. Ancient Cyclopes, unlike today's poor savages, were darkly clever. They manifested their brilliant civilization through dreadful magic. And what was written on the slab? Nothing terribly significant. It describes Cyclops settlements across the Tours of Levities, and mentioned the incredible magic treasures that had been stored here in the past. That was 1,000 years ago. There was scarce a chance that anything remains today. Even that bracelet I found was hardly anything more than a valuable knick-knack. But even I don't find any real artifacts. I will continue my search. In the name of science! I see. I'm happy to tell you wherever you like. So you're going to write a book about us? Oh, we're well beyond that. I've already started. Your comrades from the Vonling host already gave me all the background I need to flesh out the first few chapters. I'm still thinking of a title, but the chapter about your encounter with the centaurs near the city of Hollow Eyes will be called Ripples on the Water. Poetic, relevant to the location, and it foreshadows mysterious events to come. I heard that Jubilos Northropple was visiting your western neighbors. I don't know how anyone still attends his lectures or reads his articles. The obnoxious gnome can never manage to do without making sarcastic jokes at the expense of his own audience. But never mind, how unfair would it be for a well-known publicist to show interest in one newborn barony while leaving his neighbor, our sweet and slightly wild Varnhold, out in the cold?
Do you see now how lucky you are that Willis Gunderson himself has paid a village to visit to Vonhold? And we can say, what? Chiploss Northrobble himself in our lands? Willis exhales and indignant, then stares at the floor. This was rude, my good lady. You must at least pretend to at least be just as impressed by me as by him. Ah, but fine, as you please. Willis Gunderson has yet to show what he is worth. And what kind of character will I be in your book? The main character will have to be Baron Vaughn, of course, but you, my dear, will be the hero's charming assistant, who the audience will love most of all. I expect the book's countless admirers will compose 1,000 sequels entirely devoted to you. And of course, of these apocrypha, your striking beau will certainly resemble none other than the author himself. Such is the nature of the love of the public eye. Alright, well, don't you have any other questions? Have you seen that Galton troublemaker? The one who started this uprising in the city? Indeed I have! I was just telling my friends about that. Touching sign of friendship and affection that Baron Vaughn showed me when those troublemakers came in with their silly talk. I had spent a few minutes explaining to the lady how ridiculous her messages are and how disgusting it is that she expresses them. That told her. Then the troublemaker ran out of the tavern. She's not going to risk crossing paths with me again. I suspect she's on her way back to Galt. He toys with the strand of his hair and smiles cheekily. Thanks for the conversation. I have to go. Goodbye, my lady. Okay, you saw what that other dialogue option was. In my mind, Susanna is... She has her eyes on one guy, but you know what? You know what? She can prowl about. Well, let's how about we discuss antiquities and relics in a more private setting. There are quiet rooms upstairs. You know, General, scientific discussions are my weakness. You probably meant a conversation about antiquities. Or a conversation about antiquities. The young man's cheeks slightly blush. A conversation about antiquities, of course. About the amazing feeling you get when you tear off the cover of secrecy, take in its aroma, tirelessly chase that cherished skull, and finally grasp it. Can anything be more exciting? Willis arches his brow. Now I'm most curious as to what scientific approach you prefer. Something intricate, perhaps, or a lengthy preparation in a wide range of methods, or does a straightforward approach suit you better? You have a chance to learn all about my methods. Wait for me upstairs, and take a bottle of wine with you. Yes, my general! And so we head to the bed. Time passes. Okay, so the bed is completely destroyed. The room is completely destroyed. The box no longer works if you didn't loot it previously. Yeah, we sure did something there. Sir Gunderson, General, I have some questions for you. I can understand a broken bed and crushed candelabra, but what that does to save me, have you done with the window shutters? Science? You see, my dear hostess, scientific disputes can become rather heated. I'll say, if you decide you'll have another one of your disputes, please warn me in advance. I'll hire a carpenter and roofer to fix its furniture and the holes in the ceiling. What? Well, I mean, I guess we can cast lightning. Oh my. Well, Susanna had her fun. Let's talk to the keepers now. General, welcome. What will you have? I have a report for a troublemaker from Galt was seen here. Yes, that scumbag. We've seen a lot of her. She wandered in here talking about tyranny and justice, when really she was just looking for something to steal. She came all the way in with a small group. I think they were from a farm that's near the town. It's sat here for a long time saying things that made me sick to hear.
First, she was looking about the ignition sorcerer, saying he was a bloodsucker, tricking some simple people. Then they talked about how to get into the armory and some weapons. They decided they couldn't manage it, too many guards. But then they remembered there would be pitchforks and scythes in the barn. In the end, they started talking to the townspeople, trying to stir them up for a riot. But nobody would listen. I showed them to the door and sent word to the treasurer right away. I don't know where they went, but it seemed like they said something about fishermen in the river. Do something with her for Desna's sake. Kick her so hard that she rolls back to Galt. Otherwise she'll wind up with some fools and she'll burn down the whole town. We'll talk to the people, but you best go out and find where she is and what she's doing. You hear voices from the clanking of iron from outside. It looks like a mob has gathered near a tavern. You hear a familiar voice of your guards, and another voice ringing out, yelling sharp slogans about tyranny. Sola turns pale and reaches for a crossbow she keeps hidden on her counter. Looks like you won't have to go looking for her after all. Come on, General. Let's give it to these scoundrels. Oh boy! Well, we found a number of clues. So hopefully that's enough. I probably should have saved before I stepped out the door. The situation is growing heated. Varn's guards, their weapons drawn, stand opposite a group of settlers who are yelling revolutionary slogans. You see some of the local fishermen among them. There's a half-orc woman in the front row wearing a bright cape and shaking her weapon. She's obviously not from around here. Game?
Down with the tyranny! We will not be treated like cattle! You can't enslave us!
Calm down now! Noticing you, the guard sighs with release. Here's Susanna, the General of His Grace's Vaughn. I'm sure she'll deal with your problems so we can all go home peacefully. We're going to address the settlers. What is the problem here?
The problem is the autocracy of the tyranny!
Shut your mouth, foreigner. I wasn't talking to you. Citizens of Vernhold, what exactly are you unhappy about?
Here's the whole story, General. We're from Bavoy. We're tired of working for the Sotova, so we decided to try our luck here in this new land. So we built a farm a couple of miles to Vernhold and started settling in. It was going pretty well too. But then a pestilence struck the cows. Can't even stand the poor things. Eyes are so dull and they're frothing at the lips. He sent word to his grace, and the bear did promise to help us settlers, but we got no reply. He didn't even send a doctor, or even a bloody scroll. We wanted to forget it and seek our own fortune elsewhere, but then this one came. Her name is Leonta Michaud. She's from Gold. She said this baron didn't care about us and was going to help. That's all he's good for is taking taxes. She said he would go home to make some noise, stomp our feet, and maybe his grace would pay heed to our troubles.
Yes, there's holes in our boats. Can't trade fish like that. But the baron doesn't care. He loves to eat fish, I'm sure, but he's never held a fishing pole in his whole life.
Kings, barons, earls, ordinary people are like cattle to nobility. We will not allow the new state to become yet another prison for the people who groan under the yoke of tyranny. We demand that McGammar relinquish his power, proclaim these lands a people's republic, and gather a constituent assembly.
Uh-huh. We passed a perception check, so now we can try an Arcana check. Which is actually really easy. And what is this on your belt? Why, it looks like a wand of invisibility. What need do you have of that?
A wand of invisibility? Old Ignish, that's also had one just like that. Now then, let me see it. Citizens, don't listen to tyrants' henchmen. Don't give up. Fight for your rights. Don't you see? So long as a sovereign rules over you, no one will care about your suffering. Your cows, your fields, your homes, all this is a risk until you become your own masters. Down with the baron! The time for the people has come!
And now we get an opportunity to make another skill check. Our odds aren't great. So, I really wish I could choose the diplomacy option. I have practically no odds of succeeding at it. I don't think it ultimately matters. So, I think I'm going to pick bluff. This woman is the instigator. She put you up to this. She wants you to fight the soldiers so that she can play political games while you spill your life's blood.
Hold your hearts!
And then she gets punched in the kidney. Wow, that peasant must be a high-level monk.
Keep quiet. You had your say. Folks, tie her up. Forgive us. We didn't mean any harm. This damn troublemaker played us for fools. Throw the snake in prison, and well, you know, we'll just go home. But come to think of it, please send us a doctor or a healing scroll. Our cows keep getting ill, and the Baron doesn't help or even reply. If it weren't for his cows, we wouldn't have caused any trouble. Alright, so long.
The fisherman exchanges apprehensive looks. Well, we'll go too, alright? There's some silly things written on our walls. We'll wash them off right away. See, all we have to do is talk about our problems, calmly and rationally. You just wanted a solution for your cows. You felt like you weren't being heard. Very understandable.
March on.
Alright, so how are we doing? Barony in the ruins yet? We're fine. Alright, don't need any of that. So, I should probably level up. I should probably level up and pick new spells. So we level up our Magus. Let's see. How about more of the same things I've been leveling up? Yeah, this all sounds good. I'm surprised we passed that perception check. Keep in mind, that was only using Susanna's stats. That was not using anybody else's stats. So for some characters, those skill checks might actually be impossible. Okay, so what am I getting this level? Did I already take dodge? No, I didn't take dodge. You better believe we need dodge. How about Enduring Blade? That way, all the spell enhancements I do will actually last durations and not seconds. That's a good pick. I like that one. How about some spells? We actually have a pretty good save, so Glitter Dust would not be remiss. Almost everything we have is defensive. But you know what? You know what? I feel like having one offensive spell. Let's have Molten Orb. One rage defensive spell would not go amiss. Okay. Let's keep leveling up. McGammar. How about another fighter level? Let's try and make you a little bit better at archery, yeah? Yeah, you're good with those. So, I can get accomplished sneak attacker, but how about precise shots so you can actually hit? Let's see. Oh, good. Another combat feat. So, we could take Dazzling Display now. We can only do that if we have our... We can only do that if we have our short sword out, though. But you know what? That's fine. If I'm going to Dazzling Display a fight, I'll just have that out. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can start getting rogue talents again next level. I really needed to catch up on... You know what? No. Not Dazzling Display. We take Rapid Shot. Another chance to deliver a sneak attack from far away. But Bolt! He has lots of feats on all of his sword stuff. Why don't you want to put the rogue in melee? Because he'll die. And he's like the main character. It's kind of like putting your lord like on the front line without having someone else with more defensive problems. Or, like, you just don't do that. Not unless they're a durable lord. Anyway, let's get a wizard. Oh boy, I'm not putting points of mobility. I don't care. Let's see. Greater spell focus would... That could be fine. It's not like I can really get anything else that's better for him. Yeah, let's focus on conjuration. Oh boy, 2 new spells. How about Acid Pit? And summon even more monsters. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. Like, what else would I take at this level? Like Ice Storm? Obsidian Flow? Actually, Obsidian Flow might be really good. That might be a good pick. No, I'm going to take Acid Pit. I'm going to take Acid Pit. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, just go all in on that summoning thing. Alright, now then. For you... Continue to raise these things. We don't need nobility. We don't need that. We don't need that. We're fine. So... I took Rapid Shot last level, so here's something I'll hope with all that damage reduction. Clustered Shots. Now maybe she can actually, like, you know, hurt things that have damage reduction. Provided enough of her attacks hit. Alright, now the Druid level. Continue to take these. I got the 3 points of mobility. Why? Because she stands in melee. It's fine. So, for you, I could take greater self-focus and get transmutation, but that's not really what we're doing with you. For this thing, we're going to continue to focus on Barkskin. Yeah, I'm trying to go for more of a melee kind of deal with you. So you have weapon focus claws. You know what? You need something to help you hit. You probably have enough attack bonus now that you probably could take it. Can we take outflank? Can we take outflank at this level? Yeah! Yeah! Now you can outflank with Susana and Brick. Yeah! Good. Oh boy, look at all these cool spells that we get now. And Brick will continue to level up as a Slayer. Now, here's the sad thing about Brick, in Brick's situation. Normally, a Slayer at this level would get a Swift study target, but instead I get a bonus against combat maneuvers. So it's harder for them to trip me, and stuff like that. But like, honestly, I get to apply the study target anytime I hit a flat-footed opponent or a flanked opponent. So, normally, it's pretty easy to get study on something. If I really need, I can just use a move action. So, I already got that one. I already got the one I wanted. Power attack might help me, but like... this would help me get through with the damage reduction, but this won't really help me with, Okay, it's okay that he can have one enemy he's weak to. It's okay that he can be weak against... specifically elementals. That's fine by me. I could get Precise Strike and just go even further on the whole, like, do lots of damage by doing that type of damage. Yeah, we'll go with that. Good level. Anybody else? Oh yeah, those three. I don't really mind. Okay, spells. Oh boy, we get to have some spells. Isn't this great? And that takes care of that, so we can cast Blur on my 2 primary tanks, and that should be fine. I have plenty of Shocking Grass. I'll be okay. Honestly, you're not the enlarged person. I would like to be able to use Shocking Grasp. Okay, what can you get? Another enlarge, and another magic missile. So now you can do the other enlarge. Honestly, like, I'm not using this rank of summon monster very much. So let's go with some burning arcs. So we can get a little bit of damage in. Like, these spells seem fine by me. Oh boy! How about 2 acid pits as a summon monster? Acid pit sounds like a great spell. Let's use that more. Paladin spells. They're weird. Paladin spells are just weird. I could take effortless armor. I don't need that. I feel like, what... Bestow Grace, this is a fun one. This allows you to allow someone else to have your cool paladin saves, but only if they're not evil. It's a good thing you know my characters are evil. I also have this aura of greater courage. You know, immunity to fear. That sounds really good. But will it help me in the next area? Probably not. Honestly, I don't think any of these will really help me in the next area. If that's the case, yeah, let's get Bestow Grace. That can't hurt. Here we go with this again. I didn't even cast the Entangles previously, mostly because Entangle is huge, and I like being able to do things. So, what do I actually take for this? I guess I could take Snowballs. They're kind of a crowd control. They're a single target crowd control. And they're a ranged attack, so she'd be able to just, like, not die. And not dying sounds really good. Lots of Barkskin's good. Those spells are fine. Oh boy, new spells! Do you want to have heals? No. No, I think we're good. How about some Flame Strikes? That sounds great. I'd like some Flame Strike. Alright, and you know what we can do now? We rest. Where does this put us? Oh, they fixed the bed. Good. Good for them. It was only broken for 1 day. It's better now.
Stopping now.
And because we rested, people aren't on death's door anymore. Real pleased with that mechanic. I know that the higher difficulties, those characters would just be dead. But at that point, you'd probably just reload or restart, because, like, that's pretty early into the DLC. You could just try again from that point. So what if we talk about Gunderson now? Nothing. Okay. Nothing new there. Let's see. I heard that the owner of the tavern at Blackstone's Fjord are murdering their guests, and through a source of information was highly unreliable, a passing bard who reeked of alcohol. We didn't clear the monsters out of these lands just as those scoundrels could settle here. Let's check the bard's story, and next time we pass through this place. What can you tell me about Willis Gunderson? What does your, mercenary gut tell you? He casts an attentive look at you. I would also like to know what you think of him. How much are you interested? This is no more than a one-night stand. Mager looks at you searchingly. I'm probably not in a position to be jealous, but I'd still like to understand your priorities. After your answer to my question during our walk, I was picturing something else. He cringes, obviously reluctant to continue the unpleasant conversation, and changes the subject. Gunderson himself doesn't bother me. I can't hurt to have him on this barony. We still won't have much entertaining here, and that lad is a free circus show for anyone who cares to watch. But that bracelet... You know, I sent scouts to retrace Gunderson's steps, and they couldn't find a single sign of him. That's one half of a location. One hell of a location, even. Hills, mountains, gorges, and 1,000 caves. If he lied about where he found it, we'll be looking for its true origin for years, and I don't like it. I know about a dozen unhappy stories that began with an unknown ancient relic suddenly appeared. That's why I'm writing our western neighbor for the Shrike Hills. Maybe they'll have a good sorcerer or historian who can help us puzzle out what this bracelet is. I've handled the troublemakers. The people have calmed down, the rabble-rousers are in tatters, in fetters, and brilliant. I expected nothing less. I'll drop an order right away to help them out with the cows. Of course, we won't go so far as to execute her, but keeping her in prison doesn't make any sense either. Let's take her to the border and give her the boot. Let her slink on back to Galt or wherever else she wants. If she sets foot in our lands again, she'll have only herself to blame. Although, this learning about her tricks, no one else will want to trust her. Something else will have to come up. Or something else has come up. We need to discuss the new trainees. Recruitment needs to... What's that noise? Who's making trouble?
Your Grace, your hour has come. That doesn't sound quite right. I mean, it's time to shine. To show off a bit, even. Your subjects require your protection. Will you refuse the pitiable creature a heroic feat? You're a pitiable creature. Now stop fussing and be quiet. I'll explain everything myself. The woman wears a simple peasant clothes and steps forward, pushing Gunderson aside. Your Grace, my name is Svetslava. I'm from the village of Old Stump. We lived here for a long time, and always minded our own business. Until you started to rule here, we became, as it turns out, your subjects. Well, we paid our taxes on time, and brought your grain and meat. But now woe has come upon us, so it's your turn to provide your goat for more than collecting taxes. I honor my duties and my subjects. What has happened? And Sephiel comes over to listen as well. Do you remember, Your Grace, that unforgettable day of our first acquaintance, when you met those terrible but in a way quite amazing creatures? Well... Why do you keep butting in your rattlebox? You keep quiet. I'm not dumb. I can talk. So, Your Grace, woe has come upon us. Dead cyclopes have risen from the graves and are moving towards our city village. If you don't help us, they'll gobble us up and eat us in no time. Sounds like a job for a general. Shall I deal with this myself? Not alone. I will go with you. I'll lead a party personally.
Susanna, choose the best of Hardling host, and march at once. The others will remain here, ready for battle, in case the Cyclops come here too. Zombie Cyclops. I'd say it's unheard of, but as this young man pointed out, we've already met them once, and that means we might meet them again. If we're to protect the barony, we'll need to find out more about them. I will go with you. We must try to discover where they came from and what they can do to stop them.
Oh, thank you, Your Grace. There's another problem, though. The village woman lowers her voice. These zombie cyclopses, they have their power to control a person's mind. When the monsters came, several people became insane. They began to worship them. You must do something about these lunatics, or they'll kill us all off themselves.
Thank you for the warning. We'll do whatever it takes to help our village. Susanna, Seville, are you ready?
What about me?
You sit here. If you want to be helpful, keep watch. I'll go to Candy. Maybe she needs your help moving bags. We don't need you fighting Cyclops.
Fine, if you say so. He looks at you sadly. Take care.
We march at once. We're off. And we can go with our party of people that we have assembled previously. Burnhold sure is a wonderful place. Handled that pretty readily.
Cannibals? In my lands? I can't believe it. Just let me get my hands on the scum, I'll have their heads.
You're right to withhold judgment on unproven accusations. Your job is to find out the truth and conduct a fair trial. You cannot pronounce a sentence unless you ascertain there was a crime.
Fair enough. And so we'll go to Blackstone's Ford. And the game auto-saved, that's good. Our formation is pretty much intact. That's great.
Onwards.
Let's see, what's the sign say? To Blackstone's Ford and in. Okay. That's normal. Yeah, this looks pretty normal so far. 3 people are sitting at a table in tense silence, an old couple and a young man. They turn to you suddenly, making little effort to conceal their dismay. Good afternoon! Am I interrupting something?
No, not at all. Welcome, dear guests. Please sit down. How can we help you? Would you like to have dinner, or maybe a room for the night?
Make sure not to order any meat. I heard it's strange here.
I'm afraid we don't have any meat, only cabbage soup. And bread, but the bread is fresh.
Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, of course. Don't worry about a thing.
Then I suppose I won't mind if my people take a look around your inn. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. McGammar, the Baron in these lands. I've heard rumors that guests at your inn are treated rather badly. I'm sure this must be idle gossip. The old man looks at the old woman, then you, and turns his eyes back to Mager.
Yes, of course. Please look around. I assure you, everything here is in order.
Mager turns to you and winks surreptitiously. Cephal and I will remain here just in case, to keep an eye on everyone. You have a look around. If you have any questions, I'm sure our dear hosts will be happy to answer them. Okay, we'll talk to the old people first. Who are you?
I'm Meteor Broderick. This is my wife, Kalina. We came here from Bravoy. We wanted to move someplace new, and we opened up this inn.
Right. And there's lots of passers-by here, settlers and merchants, and we thought an inn by the ford would be sure to have a regular flow of guests.
Treating our guests badly? Why, that's slander, I swear by all the gods. We value our reputation.
Let's talk to the young man. So who are you, and what are you doing here?
I'm Yarkrash, and I'm simply a merchant from Restov. I'm on my way to Galt, and we trade. I've been here before, and never had any problems. The beds are warm, the food is good, and the roof doesn't leak. I'll go see what I can find, then. Keep your eyes peeled. Any evidence might be important. Okay, now I'm going to quick save. Because it's highly likely that I will fail perception checks. Let's grab the obvious loot. That's a lot of stuff. More obvious loot. Okay. So start by moving to the right and work our way around. Oh, they have a dog. Nice.
Over there!
What's that? There's an open book on the ground. You can swear the dog has been intently studying the pages. Perhaps a druid? I mean, we have a druid that regularly spends time not as a human.
No stopping now.
Oh, a bag.
Check that
With a
out.
stump nearby it. Okay. Free stuff. Love it. Love to see that. Couple of things to look at here. A little chest filled with the bottles of sleeping potion, or at least so the label says. The bag holds Brevik Traveler Scrolls, issued by Yorgish Rajic.
It is done.
The chests in the cart are empty. Okay. Oh, we'll keep looking around. And all that's a little bit,
March on.
a little bit weird. Like, maybe they're just out of wares because they sold everything? But wait, wasn't that guy the same last name as the owner? So, like, he should know them? So why wouldn't he say they just knew them? Oh boy, an athletics check.
I'm losing my temper.
Let's just... And then we simply...
Done.
And then we simply... There we go.
Pay attention.
Yep, that's a trap. Who would our party's good at trickery again? I'm pretty sure it's Brick. But if that's the case... Let's remove his armor again. Double checking. Double checking, just to be sure. Yeah, Brick has 13 trickery. Okay. How difficult are these traps gonna be? Let's quick save the game, just to be sure. How bad's this gonna be? I heard a squeak.
I just can't.
I rolled a 1. I need a 10. I rolled a 1. We'll try again. We'll try again. We'll just try that again. I rolled a 1. He doesn't have skill-focused trickery. Dexterity is a high stat for him, but not
Got it.
his highest stat. Okay, that's good. That's better. Okay, so... Oh, that's a swarm!
I'm losing my temper.
It is done.
Okay. Alright,
Let's move already.
what can I do against a swarm? Right, we do have electric damage. We'll attack it first.
A solid plan.
There's 2 of them close together. Okay, the electric damage worked. I don't think precision damage would work. I don't think precision damage would work. I know Brick doesn't have his armor on right now. It doesn't matter. They're swarms. Magic in general would just work on these things. My Magic General, on the other hand, does not have that kind of magic prepared. The cat, I don't think the cat can do anything. It's a swarm. I will demonstrate. Never mind, the cat can do plenty. But it's a swarm! Crits, precision damage, spells from target. Has physical damage from slashing and piercing weapons, but not blunt. Okay, so the cat worked just fine. Maybe it's a small swarm and not a tiny swarm. Okay, that's fine. Either way, I know Flame Strike. So I could just Flame Strike the swarm. Yeah, let's put the... Cool. Why has I got another reticle like that now? Oh, there's another one! Where is it? I don't see it. There it is. Okay, alright. We found it. Yeah, you no, not you. Okay, so... And where there's gonna be more traps. Good thing I didn't charge. Okay, this feels really bad to use such a high-level spell on such a little weak enemy, but at the same time, it swarms and I have this irrational fear of swarms. So let's just Flame Strike it. And it's gone. Okay, so the swarms are dealt with. I probably could have just thrown, like, I don't know, Alchemist Fires or Acid Flasks or, like, whatever, but, like, it's fine.
All this waiting bores me.
Okay,
I won't
we'll take
be
one.
halted.
We'll take one.
Battles await.
Oh, another one. Okay.
A waste of my time.
Okay, we failed by less than 5.
I just can't.
We failed by precisely 5.
Done!
Good. We got 2 traps. We're getting 540 experience every time we get a trap.
Done!
Woo! Like that. Love that for me.
Over there.
Another one. Alright, Brick. I could scum the traps. I'm not really worried about it.
Got it!
Yeah! Old couple were killed a day or 2 ago. Their throats have been ripped out. Oh. Oh.
Pay attention!
And we can loot their bodies, and we can get a little key. A little key smeared with blood and mud.
Stopping now. Attention.
And we got some scrolls and stuff. That's good. Alright, I think we should get Brick's armor back on. Because apparently there was a murder. Which, like, that makes sense because apparently there's cannibals here. But wait, if they're cannibals, why would they leave the dead bodies there?
Done!
Okay. Alright, I think we need to go inside to do some investigating.
March on. Our duty calls.
Let's heal first. How about 2? How about 3rd? Yeah, Brick's fine. Okay, so inside we got a lore nature check.
Done.
The little chest holds a few empty and unlabeled bottles. Looking closer, you identify the last drop as one that was in the sleeping potion. Ah, okay, so that's how they get... Okay. Okay, that tracks.
Over there!
Little tiny little cache in the oven. Of course. What did I find in the oven? I found a clear quartz, a scroll of flare burst, and an incense. Weird things to hide in the oven.
Over there.
I just can't.
Oh, there's a tiny keyhole on the inside of the shelf. And inside there is... dead bodies preserved well in the cold. Some have been butchered like cows. Ugh. Zargo wouldn't
Move
care.
already.
Oh! Oh, I want to put that back. Ugh. Well, it's a good thing we don't have any recipes that actually use meat in this DLC. Oh, yay, 12 trail rations. Alright, sure. Okay. Okay, looks like, piles of loot. Sulfur discs. Okay, so, real adventurer loot here.
Pay attention.
Clothes, jewelry, and personal items of different sizes and styles. You see bloodstains on some of them. Ah, yes. Okay. And now we have a knowledge arcana check. I think this one's rough, so let's just drop a quick save there.
I can't do it.
How much did we fail by? We need a 15. Or no, we need a 25, or I have a plus 15. Let's try it again. I'll give this 3 tries. I'm okay with failing a handful of the disarm traps. I'm not okay with failing a thing that would give me potential dialogue options.
I am finished.
A wand which allows its user to take on the appearance of a humanoid. Its power is depleted. Ah. I see. So let's take a look at our journal. So we have a lot of clues. A lot of clues. So let's go on back to Varn.
It is done.
And we'll make yet another quick save. Take a closer look if you like. I don't like them. We live quietly and mind our own business.
What's the matter? What happened?
No stopping now.
Well, have you looked around? Have you found anything? I inspected the area and I'm ready to report my findings. Great! Let's hear what my people managed to find out. The old people exchanged nervous glances. So, what did you manage to find out? I found proof that the guests were robbed and murdered at this inn. A serious accusation. What evidence is this? The bodies of guests in a secret larder. Some of them are butchered like cows. How horrible! With such evidence, we needn't look any further. You've caught them red-handed. So, the drunken bard wasn't making it all up. They really do murder their guests here. I would have liked to hope that part about eating their flesh would turn out to be a fool's embellishment, but it's a hope I'm quickly losing. The young man is no passing merchant. He's in collusion to the owners of the inn.
What? Me? How dare you accuse me of such a thing? You can't have any proof.
You hid your surname from us. You're Gash Bragic. You're related to the owners of the inn.
I am not. It's a very common name. Every third person in Restov is a Bragic.
This is suspicious, but this doesn't turn to sufficient grounds for an arrest. Do you have any other evidence against him? There are no goods in his cart, only empty chests. I suspect he came here to collect the loot from the chests in the attic and sell it.
That's just conjecture. Empty chests are simply empty. Emptiness is not evidence.
Yes, this goes beyond mere coincidence. Will you confess, or shall I give you to my friend Cephal? Cephal nods greatly.
I strongly recommend the second option. I am sorely lacking in assistance for my scientific research.
The young man slumps his head down.
I admit it. I'm guilty of selling my loot.
The parents have been living in Blackwater for a long time, hunting and housing travelers. They got old and lost their strength and couldn't hunt anymore. They didn't want to leave, no matter how much I tried to convince them. The lands here are wild and travelers are rare. They sometimes go missing and no one comes looking for them. So they decided to lure passing merchants into Spain tonight, only to kill them and to keep this here riches. And the bodies, they kept them too. They can hardly hunt, you know, my folks. He wipes sweat from his forehead in trembling hands. But I didn't kill them. I didn't kill anyone, I swear. I only helped to get them to sell the loot. They're my parents, you know. I couldn't just leave them. Now, these people are not my parents. He points at the old couple. They look the same, but they're not. I can feel it in my gut. Abhorrent. Maker fairly keeps his arm spitting on the floor. A trial will determine your guilt, and whatever punishment you deserve. Cephal, lock this Jorgresh in the attic. Make sure he has enough food to last a week, and we'll collect him on our way back to Varnhold. I guess that's a form of home arrest. Like, wouldn't it be possible that I can just, like, climb out one of the attic windows? We see that they're up there. Meanwhile, the confessions of the scumbag have revealed much of interest, haven't they? I don't know who these people are, but they're definitely not the ones they pretend to be. Really? What makes you think that? In the attic, I found a wand that can change one's appearance. That alone doesn't prove anything. Such a serious accusation requires serious proof.
The dog in the yard is not what it pretends to be. While I was passing by, it was reading a book. This adds up to a very strange way. It sounds impossible, but... He gives the old couple a severe look. So, who are you? Will you confess, or shall we simply wait for the illusions to fade? Ah. Oh, they're just furries. It's fine. The old couple exchanges glances, then sighs and shed their illusion. The creatures standing in front of you resemble humans only remotely. They are lycanthropes.
Well, please hear us out. This isn't our fault.
Quiet. Maker, wait. I have other evidence. I fail. There is no way we're talking to monsters. Lycanthropes begin to fight and... Well, I don't want this outcome. I'm going to succumb to the diplomacy roll. I won't want this outcome. I don't want to fight the lycanthropes. They're just furries. They aren't even evil furries. Most lycanthropes are evil, but like, we got good acting. We got good evidence. So we're just gonna go through the dialogue option again. We've read all this before. I need to be very careful that I don't choose the wrong dialogue option, though. We have more than enough evidence, I'm sure. Let's see. How about, I found the bodies of real Miko and Kalina Brajic. Their throats have been torn out. Okay, that just makes them lose it immediately. Okay, we try this again. We succeed this time. Mager hesitates, but then nods. So, these are lycanthropes. What else did you manage to find out? Let's hear the lycanthropes out. I suppose it might have something to say in their defense. I've little doubt that they've managed to have something to say. Why do you think we should listen to their excuses, or believe so much as a squeak when it comes to their filthy mauls? Let's see. I found the real owners' bodies and the key to the larder next to them. The lycanthropes might not even know anything about the other killings. I still don't understand why you're defending these monsters, but your reasoning is sound. Fine, I'll give these creatures a chance. Hey, you two! What can you say in your defense?
We really did try to we really did kill the old people, but we had to. We were only defending ourselves.
We would just come here in human form as guests. They drugged us into sleeping potion and tried to kill us. The old people wounded us, and they were pretending to be a dog. We killed them, but only to save ourselves.
I believed we could live alongside people in peace. Have you heard about Shrewald and the Shrike Hills? Trolls and kobolds have built a kingdom and live next to people as friends and neighbors. Couldn't we do the same?
We only started out here to give our wounded friend a chance to heal. But then the guests came. It was probably a bad idea to pretend to be the murdering host, but we didn't have the time to think of something better.
Bard shakes his head, astonished. I can't believe my ears. Well, how unbelievable it seems, I must admit that these creatures are innocent. Well, now everything is clear. The former innkeepers used to kill their guests, their son helped them sell the loot, and the lycanthropes are only guilty of self-defense. Great work, Susanna! You got to the bottom of this complicated story, as if you've been doing it all your life. Well done. I could fall in love with you right now, if I hadn't already. Alright, not in public. Maker nods. Well, lycanthropes, what is your next move? I'm sorry your first attempt at living peaceably alongside people came to such a sad ending.
Well, there are beasts even among ordinary people. We understand.
If you would allow us, Baron, we would like to live in your capital. We would maintain our human appearance and lead lives there, human lives. Let's give each other another chance for peace.
So be it. When I return to the capital, I'll see it that you all have a roof over your head and a job. Here in the Stolen Lands, even the most unexpected alliances become possible. If you truly want peace, I won't refuse you. Now let's go. We have a lot of work to do.
Neat!
We'll stay and start a new life in your barony.
Thank you for giving us a
It
chance.
is done.
And we can talk to the wolf too. No, we can't. I lied. Alright, well that was fun. Just a little mystery. Just a little mystery. The game does a pretty good job of solving it for you if you just find all the clues. And you might even just find the clues accidentally. But it does take a little bit of effort. Overall, I'm really happy when games do stuff like it. Just a little bit of puzzle solving.
Onwards.
Just to break up all the fighting and everything like that. Like, it was less of a puzzle than the crystal thing, but I think I preferred it over the crystal thing. I like finding all the clues and piecing things together. It makes for a very interesting story, in my opinion. But, for now, I am out of time. Thank you all so much for joining me along this path today, and I hope that you will continue to find this path with me in the future. Later, Pathfinders!